Hey, you guys. Oh, hey, I can't tell if I'm live or not. Anyone? Am I live? Anybody? Baby, can you go on YouTube, see if I'm live? Can't tell if I'm live or not. Can you hear me, baby? You can't hear me? No? Okay. Are you hearing me now? No? Can you see me talking? But you don't hear anything. Ah, I hear myself. There is a bit of a delay, so I know you're hearing me in the house. Hey everyone, we are having technical difficulties when we try, and maybe I have it fixed. I don't know. YouTube over here on this side is looking weird. It kind of shows like it's not running, but OBS shows that it's running. So all right. Oh, let me shut the door. All right, everybody. Hey, we were having somewhat of technical difficulties earlier when we tried to start the live, and it looks as though we may have fixed them. Where's my mouse? There it is. And so we get this over here. And so this is kind of a, well, I did have it all set up and I was ready to do the live, but then it had technical difficulties. So I gotta fix the camera, you guys. Hold on. Slightly. It was just slightly. Alrighty, okay. Let me see here. You guys are catching me in the middle. Normally, all this is done before I start the stream. But hey, it's good for you guys to get a behind the scenes look, huh? There we go. All right, now we good. Now we good. Now just a little crooked. Oh, ooh. Okay. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Finally, right? All right, now let me see, make sure. Okay, and we do have everything up. Okay. All right. Well, hey guys, what do you say we just start this off right? let's go to the intro. All right, everybody. I'm glad you joined us. If you are here, we are having technical difficulties. I tried starting the stream probably an hour and a half ago. Just a little backstory. We were having technical issues. We were trying to grow the channel. We were having technical issues doing that. I took the computer, had it serviced so that it can handle what we're trying to do. When I got it back, they said, hey, it's going to be like a brand new computer. You're going to have to reset everything up. And when I originally agreed to it, I'd forgotten about all the audio issues I was having. Wow. They came, all of them came right back. I'm still having, I can't get earbud. I can't, when I'm streaming, if I'm just doing regular stuff, I can play things through my earbuds. So if you guys are hearing an echo, it's because I'm having to play my audio through my speakers that are kind of right behind me. So that would probably cause a tiny bit of an echo. There's nothing I can do about it until I can figure out why the audio won't go through my headphones. And then there was an encoding issue. And oh man, it's been an ordeal, you guys. It's been an ordeal. But today's stream, I wanted to talk about, does God lie? Because there is a passage in Genesis 2 that we are going to talk about today, where there are apparently some people who think God lied. This is crazy to me to think that God lied. God lies? It's one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not lie. But yet people think God lies. Okay, well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Does God lie? Let's see here. And I have a video for you today, and here it is. This young man right here, he came across my YouTube page, and this is what kind of brought it up. I mean, my 2 cents, does God lie? Let's listen to this guy, and let's just see what he has to say. What do you think? Let's see.
Genuine question for Christians or people that believe the Adam and Eve story. I'm not here to argue or laugh at anybody. I really like these conversations, and I like knowledge. I like the esoteric and religion. Anyways, Genesis 2:16 and 17. God said, do not eat from this tree or you will surely perish. Then the serpent came along, not Satan, not Lucifer. The serpent came along and said, you will not perish if you eat this fruit. And then they ate the fruit. God kicked them out of the garden for going against God. Anyways, my question is, why is God the good guy in this situation when he lied to humanity straight from the gate? And why is the serpent the bad guy if he told humanity the truth? Now, I know somebody's typing some cop-out answer about faith or free will. 2 things. Faith, they had no idea what was what and who was who. They didn't know the serpent. They didn't know God created them. Adam spoke to one and Eve spoke to the other, right? Masculine and feminine. Anyways, so they didn't know who was who, so how would they have faith in anyone, because they didn't know anything before they ate the fruit? They're just plopped in a garden. Second, free will. Free will wouldn't have existed because that revolves around your morals, around morality, whether you walk with God or you walk without God. Before they ate the fruit, they didn't know they were in the wrong or the right. They had no idea. They were just given a choice to eat the fruit or don't eat the fruit. Those were their 2 choices. So if they didn't understand death, if they didn't understand morals, they didn't understand their creation. God didn't even tell them yet that he created them. He didn't even say that yet. All he said was, don't do this. And then the other guy said, you can totally do this. So they had no guidance at all. So that's my question. Why is God a good guy in this situation? And why is the serpent the bad guy? I have a...
Okie dokie. Where's my mouse? I keep losing my mouse, you guys. Oh, it's way over. Man, too many monitors. Too many monitors. I'm trying to get back to there. Okay. Alrighty. Now, my friend. First of all, I just want to start off with saying that I can tell that he's like a new ager because he brings up this masculine and feminine thing. That is a new age thing. So I can tell right off the bat that he is a new ager. What exactly he believes, I don't know, but that is a very big clue that he brought up this masculine and feminine spirit thing. Yeah, it gives me great depth into what he believes. I can draw from that. Now, also, I want you guys to know that he is making a lot of presumptions here. He is presuming that they don't know that God created them. He's presuming. Now, this is also another reason why I wanted to bring up this video, is because this is something that I think that we as Christians, maybe that will help out with the audio, maybe, the echo. I don't know. Let's see. This is something that we as Christians, or people, when we read the Bible or any kind of historical document, period, we tend to do. It is just something that we do. We read it, and because it's on the page, it looks like this thing is happening right after this thing, right after this thing, right after this thing. And we don't realize that, hey, you know what? There might have been weeks, months in between this thing and that thing. But when we're reading it, bam, 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 bam. So it feels as though all these things were happening back to back, when really they might have been taking years, weeks, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds. We don't know. Now, there are some passages in the Bible that we can conclude, we can theorize that, he was there with God long enough to at least name all the animals. How many animals are there in the world? How many animals? He was there long and long enough for it to be regular enough for them to be walking with God in the garden in the evening of the day, that they know the sound of it. They know the sound of God walking in the garden. So this tells us that, hey, there's been some kind of relationship here for some time. So I think his presumption that, hey, these people, that Adam and Eve didn't know anything, is wrong. And it's very clear to me, at least from Bible. Now, if y'all want to talk about that, we can. But I strongly think that his presumption that, hey, they were created and then the next day they fell. I don't think it happened that way. I think there was some time. Now, how much time, I don't know. I want to say at least a few years. That's what I want to say. But if you want to say it was at least a few months or weeks, long enough that they knew the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the evening. They knew that sound. They knew it. Long enough for them to leave, and for Adam to name all the animals. So it was at least that long. At the very least. So if he's naming the animals with God, so God is talking with him, communicating with him. So there's some kind of teaching, some kind of communication going on. And so I think this guy is just making a lot of presumptions. And it's probably because he is New Wave. Mr. Feminine Energy, kind of pumping it out there. Can I just say, this is my channel and my 2 cents. You're kind of pumping out the feminine energy there, buddy. Pumping it out. Calm it down. Let's be a little bit more manly. What do you say? Yeah. All right. Okay. Anyways, but let's get into this main question of, does God lie? Did God lie to Adam? So what passage is he talking about specifically? I have it for you guys right here. Let me first switch you guys back over here. You guys talk in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to know. So let me get this switched over here like that. And this verse passage is supposed to be Genesis 2:16 right here. And the Lord God commanded him, you may eat freely from every tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it, you will surely die. So, in the day that he ate of it. Now, if you go into the next chapter, this is when they eat of it, and they don't die. So, did God lie right here? In the day that you eat of it. Now, there is a part in this guy's video where he goes off and, don't give me some diatribe about, faith and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, the answer doesn't fit your pre-subscribed whatever theory or presumptions, because we already know that you're making a lot of presumptions just from your video. It tells me that you're not wanting to listen. So I'm doing this mostly for everybody else and because of the next video that we were going to be seeing. But did God lie right here? Well, let's take a minute and let's think about this because I want to look into the video. And there it goes. Ooh, had me worried there for a minute. Now, this guy right here is Dan McCullen. I have, if you follow me here on the channel, especially over on TikTok, I have done a lot of interactions with Dan right here on TikTok. And right here, you see highlighted in blue there in the bottom, it is something that the guy of this channel is tagging Inspiring Philosophy. I like Inspiring Philosophy. I don't agree with everything that he teaches, i.e. this right here. I think it's a very bad teaching of him and Dan, and we are going to address it today. And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to give the proper answer to this, not what they are giving. Let's hear what they answer, how they answer this question.
God said that Adam would die on the very day that he ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he did not. And in the recent online class that I taught on creation accounts in the Bible, I pointed out that probably the best way to make sense of what is going on here is that God uses a kind of hyperbolic threat, like if you have ever had a parent say to you, if you touch my guitar, I'll kill you. But then you touch the guitar and they don't actually kill you. That's probably what's going on here. There was a use of hyperbole to try to emphasize the seriousness of the consequences.
So I want to address this part of your response first, because it gets to the heart of the issue of the question I was trying to address, which is, did God lie in Genesis 2? The other issues are getting more into the weeds. And I want to say on the outset, what I think you're offering here is a plausible reading. A friend of mine just responded to you and offered another plausible reading based on John Harvey Walton's dissertation. But if the threat of Genesis 2:17 is just hyperbole, then God didn't lie. We make hyperbolic threats all the time, and no one thinks we're lying, like in your example of the parent threatening the child for touching the guitar. That's not a lie, that's just hyperbole for you're going to be...
Okay, I can't take enough of that. Oh, hyperbole. Let me switch back over here. Okay. Hyperbole. Was it hyperbole? I mean, I know us as children, as parents, we do that with our kids. Oh man, all the time. All the time. I'm gonna kick your butt, boy. We do it all the time, but yet we don't ever act them out. It's more of we use it more of a deterrent. But are we trying to bring God down to our level? I kind of think that's what these guys are doing here. They're trying to bring God down to our level. Now, they've pretty much surmised that God was being hyperbolic, and now all they're trying to do is debate over whether being hyperbolic is a lie. To me, it is. It is. It's a lie. Dan is right. If God is being hyperbolic right here, then he's lying. Because he's telling you he's going to do something that he doesn't ever plan on doing. That is a lie. That is a lie. Dan is right. And Mike, I think his name's Mike from Inspiring Philosophy. I'm sorry, it's been a while since you and me have interacted. Maybe we should do more videos. Maybe, hey, please respond to me on this. But this is not the correct answer. You and whatever guy you said, oh, I've interviewed on my channel before. Let me go back. He says something about that. I think I cut it off short.
Another helpful example would be if we saw a mother frantically looking for her lost child in a department store, and she said, if I find him, I'm going to kill him. We wouldn't hide the child from her, we'd help her look, because we understand she's being hyperbolic. So if Genesis 2:17 is just hyperbole, then God didn't lie, because the literal meaning of the words would not have been the way the original audience would have understood it, because they say that he should be sentenced to death.
No, that's not what verse 11 is doing here. In verse...
Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. I have to take a minute, you guys. Oh man. All right, look, I'm going to show everyone how easy this is. God wasn't being hyperbolic. He wasn't. And I know that the guy in the video, he's worried about people giving responses that are from faith. Well, mine's from faith. But it's not going to be what he was. And spiritual. Oh well, people teach. Oh well, God was talking about they would die spiritually, which that may be true. This is now why we need to be reborn in the spirit. I do kind of believe that is somewhat part of the truth. There was a separation that happened, obviously, not only in the physical realm, but also in the spiritual realm. But okay, so now that covers, okay, well, they died spiritually. Okay, well, that covers the spiritual realm. So God wasn't lying in the spiritual realm, but was he lying in reality in our realm? So he's not lying over here, but he's lying over here. Is that how we're going to break it down? No, I don't like that. This is the correct answer right here. And people are so good when it comes to studying scripture and putting videos out online. They are so great at doing line upon line, context, but they have no idea, no concept of precept upon precept. And this is the most beautiful example of precept upon precept. Not only do you need line upon line, but you also need precept upon precept. Scripture says that this is something that Elijah was going to come back at the end of time and kind of straighten out. And this video from Dan and Mike at Inspiring Philosophy is a great example as to why we need him to do this, because these two guys do not understand precept upon precept, because if they did, they would know 2 Peter 3, where it says, "Beloved, do not let this one thing escape your notice. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day." Oh. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that in the spiritual realm, time flows differently? Oh, there's your answer, you guys. There's your answer. So when did Adam die? How old was Adam when he died? Well, right here in Genesis 9, 5. I'm sorry, I have a glare on the screen from over here. Anyways, and after he had become the father of Seth, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Adam lived a total of 930 years. So, in the heavenly realm, God wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. He did die that day, because as a day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as a day. It's the flow of time. It's the flow of time. It's how it flows here and how it flows there. It doesn't flow the same. It doesn't go the same. And me and my good friend that we have had on the channel before, Robert Flick, have had great deep discussions about this, to where we've actually talked about what kind of time is it in heaven, and we've boiled it down to our finite mind understanding of it as what do we call it? I'm trying to remember. Perpetual now. God is living in a perpetual now. Although, even though now, years later, after me and him come up with that, I have refined it, and I don't think it's quite what we had determined it to be back then. I do think it's different now, but I digress. So, I want to go, let's see, I have another passage for you guys, and this is something that Jesus said to Nicodemus when he come to him and was questioning Jesus. And Jesus told him, for you to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must be born again. And then he goes, but how must a man re-enter his mother's womb? And then Jesus says this, you are Israel's teacher, Jesus said, and you do not understand these things? Truly, truly, I tell you, we speak of what we know, and we testify to what we have seen. And yet you people do not accept our testimony. I have told you about earthly things and you do not believe. How will you believe if I tell you about heavenly things? See, that's what's going on here. I think what's going on here is that there is, it's a heavenly thing. It's a heavenly thing, and these people just do not understand heavenly things. They struggle to understand earthly things, like Nicodemus, and so they struggle even harder to understand heavenly things. Now, does this mean that we should throw them off? Should we not listen to them? No. This is why, even with me, I don't want any of you out there to take my word for any of this. I want you all to go back and test it for yourself. This is why you should all never take anything a pastor, now your personal pastor at your church, should have your good welfare at hand. I mean, that should be his top goal. Hey, I'm here for you. That isn't always the case. This is why you should do your due diligence and study the word. Study to show thyself approved. That is what Peter also said. He also said, study to show thyself approved. Now, I want to go to a promo since I just was kind of out of the spot live. But anyways, we'll be right back right after this.
Hi, I'm Vicky, Dennis's wife. Want to help creators grow without spending a dime? Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. Drop a quick comment, even an emoji works, and boom, more people see it. And if you really love what you see, follow us. Your tiny tap makes a huge impact.
The bag of chips. I'm not sure about this.
How do I become a member?
So you want to become a member?
Oh, membership? Yet. Let me click here. Yet.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that. Well, here's how you do it. Right below here, you'll see a join button. If you'll click that, it'll pop up this little members option page where you can have the option to choose 2 different tiers. You can become a member of the bridegroom, where you will get access to personal emojis that I have made myself. I'm not that great of an emoji maker, but I didn't make them myself. But you also get these little badges that I also made myself that will tell people that you are a member of the MNC family. And they're even color coded so that people can tell how long you've been a member of the MNC just by the color. Also, when I see these badges in the chat, like I do here with our good friend here at the MMC, Betty Flick, I will make it a point during the lives to respond to your comment. But if you become a member of the Here's the Bridegroom tier for $3.99, not only do you get access to all of that, but you get videos, personal videos made for members only. And here really soon we're going to be starting member only live streams just for you. So choose your tier and become a member today. Thank you. All right. Hey, everyone. I just want to thank you for watching the stream. Also, I have also just been subcontracted through, hold on. I just started making templates. So like some of the things that you see in my TikTok videos or my Instagram reels or Facebook reels, some of the effects and stuff, if you like them, you can go to the CapCut online, or you can download the app, and there's all my effects right there. Well, not all of them. I'm still putting them in. I'm trying to figure out how to get my my wife's stickers put up in there. So if you guys like the little share and comment things, you guys can use them. You can have access to them. I'm working on trying to get a link put into the description of the channel, but that is also something new that we have. I have just they came to me, offered it to me. I was like, sure, why not? So that is also something else that we have just started here, along with some computer issues, technical issues that we are working through. And I just want to tell everyone to like, share, comment, and thank you for watching. And as always, remember, here's the bridegroom. Here's the bridegroom. Come on out to meet him. Come on out to meet him.